the biggest mistake that people make when dating. That's what we're going to talk about today. And you don't want to make this mistake if you want to avoid getting into a bad relationship. In fact, we both have made this mistake before. Yeah. And sure enough, it's the biggest mistake that people make when dating. And we're going to tell you what that mistake is here in a moment. But first, let's go ahead and introduce ourselves.
Hi, I'm Kat.
Okay, and I'm Mark, and we're the co-founders of Non-Monogamous Lifestyles Association, where we help to provide tools and support for people to liberate their relationships and their sexuality. And to do that, we help them to create a new normal in their life, and we talk about that a little more as we go along here. But first, I want to talk a little bit about dating, and specifically, sometimes why we date. Mm-hmm. So we know we have a friend that this friend's been going through some difficult times in the last year, and this friend just always is insisting on trying to date someone, and I know I've experienced myself in dating that sometimes I've dated for comfort food.
That's true, and sometimes we just are looking for that comfort or that external piece to just kind of connect with us.
It's like when I'm in the wrong place energetically, and I'm feeling depressed, and I want to have my comfort food. Well, dating is exactly the same kind of a thing. Is that oftentimes that we date for comfort food because it validates us.
Right.
It makes us feel good.
Right.
And so the mistake that people make, the biggest mistake that people make, is that they go out and they date when they shouldn't be dating. Mm-hmm. When their energy is not in a place where they are going to attract the kind of people that they want to spend their lives with, or the kind of people they want to have fun with. Maybe you're not looking for a long-term relationship situation. You just want to have a good time. Well, also the mistake with that is that you never know where relationships might go. Right. And if you just want to have a good time, then you might find someone you have a good time with that ends up being in a relationship for a long haul, and then it ends up not being good as well.
Right.
And so the biggest mistake that people make is that they date when their energy is not right, when they themselves need to work on themselves. Because when we date for comfort food, then what we're doing is we are looking for things external to ourselves that's going to make us happy.
Right.
And this is because in our society, we are taught it's a normal thing that we look externally to make us happy, healthy, and a whole person. Think about we go to work in jobs, and do we look to ourselves to get a raise? Well, we work as hard as we can to get that raise, but then it's really we have to look to someone else to give us a raise. We get sick and we go to the doctor. Do we then look to our bodies to heal themselves, which our bodies really do want to heal themselves. They want to be healthy. But we go to the doctor, and the doctor writes a prescription. We take a medication. And so we look externally. And so that's true across the board oftentimes. Is it normal in our society for our happiness, our health, and being a whole person is to look externally, look to other people and other things. Hobbies are kind of like that, aren't they?
They can be. And a lot of times we're taught from a very young age that we need to look outside ourselves for that happiness. And we even have phrases in our culture that say, oh, this person completes me. When really you are a whole and complete person on your own, and you don't need anyone else to complete you. And one of the things that we've learned along our journey is that we look for people who complement us, that help to bring out the best in us, and that we connect with on the energy level that we desire to have moving forward in our lives. And so many times when we look at that comfort food, it's because it's familiar, or because it's tried and true, or because it's the default of life that we've been taught all along from the time we were young, and within our media, within our families, within culture and society. But yet we really need to look internally for that happy, healthy, whole person because it's there.
So the biggest mistake that we're talking about here that people make is the fact that they go out dating when they really need to then just be working on themselves,
Mm-hmm.
and they need to be doing some energy work internally to become that happy, healthy, and whole person,
Right.
where they feel that where then their comfort does not come from someone else
Right.
or something else,
Right.
but their comfort comes from within.
Absolutely.
Their joy does not come from someone else or something else. It comes from within. Their happiness does not come from someone else or something else. It comes from within. You know, how often, again, this goes back to what normal is in our society. Now, we're going to be teaching you how to create a new normal in your life through this, okay? And that is because what's normal in our society is you go out there and, you know, your happiness is to have that new car.
Right. Right.
To have that nice house.
Absolutely.
You know, to be able to do the things that you want to do on weekends and all these things, your hobbies, and you see, that's then what we turn to find our happiness and to fulfill ourselves, and that becomes that's the normal we're taught.
Absolutely.
And so we're really not happy with ourselves.
No, we are not taught how to be happy within ourselves because we are taught to look outside ourselves. We're taught that we must have a relationship, that we must move in a particular educational field or a career field in order for us to get and have the things that will then make us happy. And when those things fail to make us happy, then we're stuck feeling awful because we've put all of our thoughts and energies and beliefs in someone else or something else to make us happy when we actually have the ability to do that from within.
You know, when we met a number of years, 3.5 years ago, you know, one of the things that I introduced you to was minimalism. Mm-hmm. And that's really the thing that I love about the whole minimalism concept and idea is that there really are, it's not about that you have to live without things at all.
Right.
You know, it's not that you have to live without things. It's nothing like that. It's not to say you have to live in poverty or poor. You know, you can be wealthy and have lots of things and be a minimalist. You know, but it's about the fact that it's not the things that you have that you find your happiness in.
That's right.
And it's turning to yourself and finding your happiness without the things in your life, without the people in your life. And that's really a foundational aspect of the minimalist lifestyle.
That's right.
Is finding your own happiness within yourself.
Right.
And so, you know, that then is what we would say is that if you really don't have this happiness within yourself, where you really feel that you love yourself, where you really feel that when you head out the door of your home, that you've got a little bit of a kick to your step, you know, if you're not feeling that way, then you probably shouldn't be dating.
Probably not.
And we believe a lot in the law of attraction, and I have experienced this in my own life. And Kathy, I know experience. The fact is, that was what got you married.
It's what got me married and what got me divorced because I married someone that I was maybe at the time an energetic match to, but really was not a long-term energetic match. And very quickly found out that it was not an energetic match. But then I felt obligated, and I felt like I had to stay. The society said I've made this commitment. I'm supposed to make it work, when really it did not serve any of us to continue the relationship as long as we did.
And so in our case, we both have been in relationships that really didn't serve us well. They didn't work well for us, but we stuck it out because that's what normal is in our society.
That's right.
And yet then there's also people that they don't stick it out. And they just get into these relationships, and then they wonder, why can't I find the guy that I want? Why can't I find the woman that I want? Why do I seem to always just find these people and get into these relationships that turn out to be bad relationships? Mm-hmm. And it really is. It comes down to the law of attraction. And can you kind of talk a little bit about the law of attraction,
So
Kathy?
the law of attraction says that there's a match in energy. So someone has described it as that which is likened unto itself is drawn. So if you think about magnets that are attracting to each other, there's two sides to a magnet. You have two sides that attract, but if you turn one around, then they will actually repel each other and they won't attract. And so it's really looking at what is being matched to you. So wherever your energy is, if your energy is in frustration and kind of a general unhappiness, then the experiences and the people that come into your world are going to match you at that level energetically. So you may find yourself with a grumpy boss or misbehaving children, or you may find, you did everything right to get that raise and or a promotion and you got passed over. And that's all because the energy that you are putting out is being reflected back to you in the people and the experiences that, that you live on a daily basis.
Now, in our case, we had the same group of friends.
Mm-hmm.
And we had a couple conversations when we were out with our friends and in a group of friends. And you and I had a couple conversations before, but, at that time, wasn't particularly interested in you. In fact, there was several reasons. I go into other videos about this that I'd written you off and so forth.
Right.
But then also you weren't interested in me. I mean, you were the gal that amongst our friends in our group that you would flirt with everybody.
Everybody.
You're just a big flirt,
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that you're interested in someone necessarily.
Right.
That's just who you are,
That's right.
And so with us then, one of the things about this whole law of attraction of that which is likened unto itself is drawn. We weren't drawn together at first.
Not at
and
first.
I think the reason for that is because I know myself is that I wasn't in a place energetically when I first met you that then we were drawn to each other.
Right.
But I was working on myself.
Mm-hmm.
And I was working to get myself into a better place. Fact is, I had made a decision not to be dating.
Right.
And because I knew that I didn't want to be drawing people to me in the energy place that I was in. And so I had made a decision not to be dating and get myself into a better place. And so that's the power of attraction. It can keep you from meeting the person that you really want to meet.
Right.
And you know that you would die to meet. But if you're not in the right energy place and that person is, guess what? The two of you are not going to attract each other.
Even if you're standing next to each other.
That's right. Even if you're standing next to each other.
Yeah.
However, then, once those two energies, whether those energies are in a bad place
mm-hmm.
or whether they're in a great place, then when they are matched then
mm-hmm.
that's when the chemistry between people happens.
Right.
And that's when people then get involved in
mm-hmm.
relationships.
Right.
And that's how it happened with us.
Right.
And so it doesn't have, the thing is, I want you to know that, yes, stop dating until you're in a really great place with your energy. Mm-hmm. And the thing is, though, that it doesn't have to take a long time to put yourself into that really great place. In my own case, I was in a period of depression and was in a period of depression for about a month and a half. But one of the things when I was in that period of depression is that I just wanted to every single day spend every hour of my day kind of holed up in my home office and just woe in my misery. And I knew that I was doing that. And so I had told my girlfriend, Chris, I had said to her that, okay, what I want is just to stay here and commiserate in my own misery.
Right.
But I know that that's not healthy for me, so I need to force myself to get out and be social. Mm-hmm. Because everybody, no matter whether you're an introvert or if you're an extrovert, or no matter how shy you are or how outgoing you are, we're all social creatures.
We are.
And we need to be around other people. Mm-hmm. And that's how we grow as well. It's one of the tools that we have in our arsenal for being able to grow as people.
That's right.
And so I knew I needed to get around and be out amongst people. And so for me then, what I did is I got involved. There's a great site out there called Meetup.com, and also another great site that I really like is FetLife. And that FetLife is for the community, no matter, for you to explore your own sexuality, and no matter what your interest is, but you can explore and you can expand, and there's people you can meet, and they have meetings that go on in just about every city, major city around. And Meetup.com, that's a different website where you can go to Meetup.com and you can type in your zip code, and then you can look up any interest. There are groups of about all kinds of things, activities, and anybody can start a group. So if you got an interest in, like recently we joined a group because we are starting to learn more about how to eat vegan.
Right.
And so we joined a group here in Ventura so that we can learn more about eating vegan. If we wanted to learn more about building car engines, we could probably find a group on Meetup.com that we'd hang out with and build car engines or do car repairs or things like that. So whatever your interest is. And so my recommendation is, in creating a new normal, is to socialize and create get out there and make some new friends.
Right.
Instead of dating, make some new friends, but make those friends non-monogamous. Okay? Because, the normal is that we go out and we make friends with things that we like to do.
Right.
But then these friends are people in a monogamous culture, and then they just really don't understand us. And so we end up meeting someone that we wanted to date that, it makes it difficult, awkward to happen.
Absolutely.
And so be involved in non-monogamous groups, first of all.
Yeah.
The second thing I want to recommend with that, though, is that be careful about the groups that you pick. Because now we came from Seattle.
We did.
Okay.
We had a very big group in Seattle.
And we had a very big group in Seattle. But there's a lot of different groups in Seattle.
Yeah.
And the group that we were part of, it was started by somebody that actually it was an outcome of a conversation that this person, his name's Tom, that Tom and I had, and he was just starting to, he and his girlfriend was just starting to get involved in non-monogamy, and he and I ended up having a conversation, and then he decided to go out and start a meetup group, and it ended up growing into a very large and successful group. But and that was because that a lot of the groups in Seattle, really, the people involved in those groups are people, wonderful people, good people, but not people that are energetically are going to lift you up in your life.
Right.
That are going to lift you up and help you to thrive in your life financially, and thrive with your health and your fitness and recreation and in your relationships. Where we need to upgrade our relationships sometimes. In fact, right this past year, one of the things is that we have both taken and found that there are some relationships that we've had in the past that we don't have any longer.
Right.
But when that happens, that's opening the door and making a way for you to upgrade your relationships, because any relationship, whether it be a friendship or a romantic relationship, they take time.
And energy.
And they can either keep you stuck, they can cause you to go downhill, they can get you on this never-ending roller coaster.
Oh, yes.
Or a relationship, friendship, or romantic can help you to really climb and thrive in your life.
Right.
And that's really what happened with us.
Yeah.
I had decided that I needed to get out and just start to socialize and be around people. So that's a key for you. Just get out and be around people. Don't be out there dating or even interested in dating until you really think that you're in the place energetically where you feel like you are creating your own happiness without any external things going on in your world. You're creating your own joy, your own spark in life. You're not looking for someone else to create that spark. You're not looking for someone else, and that they just come along and they compliment you. And so I had probably not been in that place for even a month by the time then that you and I complimented each other with some great sparks.
That's right.
And it was just incredible.
Yeah.
But I had personally gone on a journey where I had to get myself out of where I was. And I had to get back to the person that I know as my inner being, the person that I know who I am, and as somebody who, you know, is a confident person, who is a loving person, a caring person, who is a great person. It's got lots of great things going on with it. Instead of someone feeling like, okay, you got to go out the door today.
Yeah.
You know, and I've been there, and you know, and you can come out of that place and you can go back in that place. But that's one of the great things, then, like in our relationship, is that even through the course of our relationship, we find that we get to that place. But then, you know, it's a matter of going these ups and downs, but these ups and downs continue to go higher and higher.
Yes, they do. They do. They don't drag us down. And if we do hit a low, the lows that we're hitting are much higher lows than where we were before we met. You know, and I think that we also were able to come out of those lower times much quicker than we have in the past.
So the new normal that we're suggesting here is not to look outside for your comfort zone food. You know, not to look outside for your happiness and your well-being and what's going to make you happy, healthy, and whole. You know, don't look externally for that.
Right.
Instead, look internally for that. You know, even with your health, I'll just mention real quick, you know, I mean, yeah, we look externally for our health, and yet our bodies want to be well.
They do.
And when we start to put our heads on that concept that they want to heal themselves and they want to be well, then what? We start becoming well.
We do.
Instead of staying sick all the time. And so I'm not a doctor. I'm not going to go into prescribing anything or what have you. But again, it's this whole idea of the energy that we create for ourselves can make us healthy or it can make us sick.
That's right.
It can make us happy or it can make us unhappy. It can give us the relationships where we thrive in life and the relationships that are just amazing to have. Or they can put us in this place where we just wonder, how do I keep getting into these relationships?
Or why do I keep staying in this relationship?
Yeah, or why do I keep staying in this relationship? And for you, it took several years of therapy. And so that was before you even got your divorce.
That's right.
But it got you into a place where you started to understand that you had to love yourself first.
I did.
And find your authentic and true self.
That's right. And then take action on that and understand that I had developed a pattern of relationships that really was not healthy for me. And so sometimes breaking those patterns is difficult and it may feel painful in the moment, but truly it will put you on a path that will give you happiness and fulfillment in your life once you move past those challenging times. And how challenging they are is also your choice.
So if dating is your comfort zone, and you're going out, or you're not your comfort zone, dating is your comfort food, because oftentimes dating is not comfortable.
That's
but
true.
You're finding that it's your comfort food, then the message of this video is to stop dating. And don't make the biggest mistake that most people make, and that is to date when their energy is in the wrong place. And so work on yourself and getting your energy in that place. And if you want to know more about that, we both have, Kat, you have a Bards Society where you put out some information a little bit to help women. Strictly, it's called Badass Red Dress Society. And you just strictly help women to get into a better place and find their authentic self.
Absolutely. You can find us at www.bardsociety.com. That's BARDSOCIETY.com.
And, of course, then to find out more about non-monogamous lifestyles and creating a new normal in your life, which is going to liberate your relationships and your sexuality, then just go ahead and click on that link in the description, get on our email list, and you'll find out more about not only myself, non-monogamous Mark, but also non-monogamous lifestyles. So thanks a lot. Anything you want to keep up with at this point?
I think we're good. Just remember, love yourself, date yourself, and then you will find that the right people are coming into your world when you're not looking.
I guess I want to tag on to that because, yeah, we weren't looking at the time we met.
We weren't looking at all. Neither one of us.
Neither one of us. And yet, you know, we were ready.
We were.
But we weren't looking. And so that is truly, sometimes it just happens that way because you're working on you.
That's right.
And when you start working on you, then the energy changes in your life. And then that which is likened unto itself is drawn. And when two people are either in a really great and good energetic place or a bad energetic place, or they're just kind of in this place where they're just stuck, you know, and you're going to draw that person to you.
That's right.
And so you only want to be out dating when you're in a great energetic place, not for a day, not for an hour, but when you're just flying high day after day after day. And when you get to that place, then it's time to go out and be just socializing and what have you, so that you will draw to yourself someone else that's just great in your life. Thank you very much.
Thank you.